There's a lot you can do with screens. In this tutorial, I'm going to go over just a handful of the tools and functions the screen language gives you. But first, let's go over some of the basics. Almost everything we've been covering in terms of images and animations have been happening in the master layer. Above it, Ren'py places a number of other layers. There's the transient layer, which is used for in-game UI functions, then the overlay layer, which is used for UI functions that require an overlay, like any of the menu screens. Tucked between the transient layer and the overlay layer is the screen layer. When you make a screen, you need to define it by labeling it screen, followed by a label name and colon, and then all the screen stuff here. To show it, you can either call the screen by saying call screen name, which will display the screen until the user interacts with one of the buttons, or you can show the screen in your game by saying show screen and the label, which keeps the screen on there no matter what, and hide it by saying hide screen and then the label of the screen. We're using the show screen statement, not the show statement, so image properties can't be applied to this. Instead, within the screen, we need to place the elements on their own. So if we wanted some text in the middle of the screen, we'd say screen, text middle, text, this text is in the middle, let's say. Y-align 0.5 and X-align 0.5. And now let's add an image to this screen, put a little above the text. Let's try something like this Eileen concerned here. You can still apply some image properties to this layer. Not all of them are available to us, but for screens we're mostly worried about positioning elements. But the image doesn't really look all that great there, just laid out like that. We can either make a custom text box to put behind it, or we can use the frame tool to put a backing element behind the text. So we'll just add a frame like this. Two things to note. One, because the text is now a child of the frame element, we don't need to give the text the alignment changes, unless we want to change the position of the text within the text box. This is why the text box now gets the X-align and Y-align properties instead of the text itself. And two, we can give the text box some padding to give a bit more room for the text inside using X padding and Y padding. And that's a screen. As long as there's nothing else indented below it, Ren'py knows this is everything on the screen. Now, displaying images like this is equivalent to using the fixed user interface statement. Ren'py knows that that's where you specify the images are and that's where you're going to want them to go. In fact, you can place a lot of assets in there just like that. But you don't have to figure out where every single thing on the screen is located using the fixed statements and setting all the positions. Instead, we can set up everything inside of grids. VBox sets up a vertical grid, while HBox sets up a horizontal grid. With grids, we can't use X padding and Y padding to add space between cells, so instead we replace them with X spacing and Y spacing, or just spacing if we want to add equal space in all directions. If we had 4 blocks of text and we wanted to set them up in a grid, just replace VBox or HBox with just grid, followed by 2 and 2. The first number describes the number of columns, and the second is the number of rows. After that, just set all the frames below. You won't need these tools for most simple screens, but if you're arranging something more complicated like an inventory screen or just a screen with a lot of different interactables, you can see how you can nest and organize these boxes with relative ease. Now that you know how to properly organize your screen, let's get to the real meat and potatoes of stuff. Buttons and actions. Just like text or an image, we can place a text button by using text button. Then in quotations, describe what the text it displays will be, followed by an action. In this case, action jump the question. When you press the button, it will jump you to the part of your VN labeled the question, but it'll still keep the button on the screen after you jump there. So you can add a second action by adding brackets and a comma between the actions. So here we're toggling the screen off and then jumping to the question. Jump needs to be the last item in the list there. Now you have a button that jumps you to a particular part of the story and then self-closes the button. Just like text or images, you can apply other properties to this button inside the bracket or make it a child of your grid systems. And this input plus action setup is what most screens are made of. Here are some notable input functions. Image button. This lets you make an image into a button. If you use the auto function and have the button made of at least 2 images, button, like button name underscore hover, and then call the images using underscore %s, Ren'py will automatically parse the folder for the buttons and you'll have separate states for idle and hover. There are tons of other state changes you can choose from, like actions, alternate, selected, just tons that have different reasons they can be called as a state. Input provides a text box that users can enter text strings into. Mouse area lets you change the state of things on the screen depending on where your mouse is hovering over the screen or where on the screen you click, while image maps can let you do the same thing but is applied to an image. And of course, Ren'py also supports drag and drop, but it's It's a little bit more complicated than everything else. I'm gonna save that for a whole different video. As far as actions go, you can do pretty much anything. So I'm just gonna list out some more commonly used ones, but the Ren'py documentation has like a full list and it's worth checking out. For control actions, we have call, hide, jump, return, show, and toggle screen, which are all pretty self-explanatory, but you can also use the action null action just to make the button do nothing but still stay a button. You'll end up using this more than you'd think. Data actions. Add to set, remove from set, set screen variable, and set variable let you manipulate variables and lists. Audio actions. Play, cue, set mixer, and stop let you play and manipulate audio files. Menu actions. Start and quit let you start and end the game, while show menu can open up a menu screen. You can use this for your own custom menu button. As far as file actions go, quick save is really important because it lets you, well, quick save. And finally, skip can let you skip to the next choice menu. Now, obviously, there are a lot of functions available in screens, but to further complicate matters, we can also make a whole bunch of these buttons context dependent using control statements. For instance, let's say you wanted to make a screen that lets a user make a number go higher or lower. We can give them a screen with arrows to control the number. We need a starting value, so we can set that with the default statement to set a screen variable. We can use the if statement to make the lower button appear only if the number is over 1. Otherwise, we can just use the null action so the button works as normal but doesn't do anything. Alternatively, let's say we wanted the initial value to never go over 10, so we can set it so if the number is 10 or less, we can show this text button. Otherwise, we can just show the text. And that is the lightest dip into screens I can possibly give you. But obviously, you can see how powerful this element of Ren'py is. You can really customize your game any way you want, break outside of the bounds of the normal text box sprite thing, really make a game your own. Have you seen a really interesting example of screens, or have you made your own? Comment below and I'm going to check it out. I mean, if you show me something cool, like, I 100% want to see it. So be sure to like and subscribe because I'm probably going to be talking about some of those comments later on. Did anybody read anything cool yet? All right, that's pretty cool. No, actually, I can see how that's interesting. Oh, who wrote first?